Hey, what's up YouTube? It's your boy Samuel Bolongi here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Anyways, today, before I get into this video today, I need you guys to like, comment, share and subscribe. Leave a comment, ask questions, watch this video until the end, turn on the bell notification so that each time whenever I upload new videos regularly, you guys will get notified only when I upload on my YouTube channel. Now in today's video, in today's discussion for today, I'm going to be talking about and discussing about the topic of knowledge. What is your true knowledge? Now before I get into this video today, I need you guys to like, comment, subscribe, share, ask questions, turn on the bell notification so that each time whenever I upload new videos regularly, you guys will get notified only when I upload new videos on my channel. Make sure you guys follow me on all social media platforms. The link is in the description down below once I finish today's video. Now enough of the talking today, let's get straight into the video. Let's get it. Now, in today's video, in today's discussion for today, I'm going to be talking about and discussing about the topic of knowledge. What is your true knowledge? Now, number one, what is your true knowledge? True knowledge is when you have the power and the knowledge and the ability to strive for something and the ability that comes in your way. True knowledge is when you have something that is in your heart and for what is in you to have the potential and the ability to strive and to make the world a better place like never before in the human existence. Number two, how do we gain knowledge to understand the difference between love and hate? Knowledge is when we have knowledge and the ability that you have in yourself to create and to fulfill the promise that you have made. Number three, what is your true definition of having knowledge and having the power to do something that nobody knows about? Now, the question and the discussion that I have for you guys today is knowledge. What is your true knowledge? Now, number one, what is knowledge? Number two, how do we gain knowledge? Number three, how do we seek knowledge? Number four, what is your true understanding and your own definition of having the knowledge and the ability that you have to strive for something that it is way better that nobody has known about? Question number six, how do we make the world a better place? Question number seven, how do we have the ability and the potential that is in us to strive for something that comes in our way? Question number seven, how do we seek knowledge and how do we ask questions and how do we gain knowledge and the ability for what is inside of us to strive for something and the ability to make the world a better place like never before in the human existence? Now, these are all the questions. Now, knowledge, it is the knowledge that we have and the ability that is in us to make the world a better place like never before. Knowledge, it is the knowledge and it's the ability that we have in us to pursue something unique and greater like never before. You know, knowledge is when we have the courage and the power, and is when we have the wisdom that is in us and is what comes from our brain. Knowledge is when we have the wisdom and the ability that is in us, and is when we think, we talk, and act upon. You know, knowledge, it doesn't come lightly. And I know that knowledge is when we have the knowledge and the ability that we know and to inform the news and to inform the knowledge that you know potentially. Now, knowledge is when we have the power and the ability to fulfill the promise and to fulfill the trust that you have made. Knowledge is when we gain access to the things that we want to pursue, such as YouTuber, you know, content creator, you know, boxer, combat sports, soldier, you know, anything that we have the power and the ability to strive for anything that comes in our way. And knowledge, it doesn't gain knowledge just like that. Knowledge is when we gain wisdom of what we know and what we strive to do. Knowledge is when we have the power and the ability to speak to somebody, and God gives us the power and the ability from God that gives us the knowledge to reveal to us in a dream, to speak to this person, to have a conversation with somebody, to get to know somebody as much as you know about yourself. Now, knowledge, it doesn't come lightly. And knowledge, it is the only way for God to speak to you and to give you the knowledge and the confidence that is in you to make the world a better place like never before. Knowledge, it is the knowledge and it's the ability that you have in you, and it's the potential that you have in you that is in you, and it's what comes from the brain to make the world a better place. You know, having the ability and the knowledge that you have, what we have, it is way different of what we want to pursue. You know, having our own pursuing is not a bad thing. Pursuing, it is the ability to pursue something that we have our own unique talents. We all have our talents. We all have our own gifts. We all have our own giving. Giving, it is a natural state of giving, you know, to give the advice, to give something that you have that somebody don't have. Giving the advice. Giving, it is the giving of the natural state of mind. You know, giving, it is the ability that comes within us, that comes from us to speak to somebody, to speak to this person, you know, having a conversation with somebody between 9 to 5, going to work between 9 to 5, job, pursuing something that you want to pursue. For example, if you want to become a basketball player, if you want to become a YouTuber, if you want to become a singer, songwriter, if you want to become anything that comes in your way, you have the power and the ability to strive for anything that comes in your way. Everybody has a choice. You gotta make a choice, and you gotta make a decision between good and evil. You gotta make a choice and a decision that comes from the heart, and for what it comes from the brain. You know, anything that you strive to be, you can do anything that comes in your way. It doesn't cost. Everybody has a choice. The only way to do that, and the only way is to fulfill that promise, is you gotta make a promise to yourself, to make a decision, to make a change. That's what it's all about. Decision is not easy. Making a decision, it doesn't come lightly. But the only way to grow into a person, and the only way to grow into the person that you strive to become, you gotta make a decision to grow to the person and to understand and to listen of what it has to produce. Yeah. So if you want to become a producer, if you want to become a YouTuber, if you want to become a pastor, if you want to become a basketball player, if you want to become a singer, songwriter, artist, anything that you have in mind, you have the ability to strive for anything that comes in your way. It is never too late to start from somewhere. It is never too late to strive for anything that comes in your way. Now, how do we do that? How so? How to fulfill the knowledge that we gain? Now, how do we do that? Now, I know you guys are going to be asking yourself a question is, Samuel, how do we do that? Samuel, how do we fulfill the knowledge that we have? How do we fulfill the promise to pursue that we want to do? Now, what is the fulfillment that you want to fulfill? Fulfillment, it is the fulfillment to fulfill something of the trust that you want to be made. Fulfillment is when you want to fulfill the promise that you want to promise on. Yeah. So that is the knowledge is on about. Knowledge is when we have the knowledge that comes from the brain. Knowledge is when you have the knowledge to seek knowledge and to seek God's giving of what God has given to us. Knowledge, it comes from God. God gives us the knowledge and the ability to speak to us. Us as human beings, we are the vessels. We are the vessels from God that speak to us on day-to-day basis. God speaks to people. God speaks to the wind. God speaks to the ashes. God speaks to us in every sort of shape or form. That's what is the only way to gain knowledge. And the only way to gain knowledge is to seek the vision. Is to seek everything that comes in your way. And the only way to do that is to gain attention of what God has given you to do. Yeah, so that's what it's all about. Jesus is the source of all creation. The source of all creation. The source, it is the final source. It is the final revelation of God speaks to us. Knowledge is when God speaks to us. God give us the knowledge to know and to understand that comes within us. That's what it's all about. Knowledge, it doesn't come lightly. Knowledge is when we have the knowledge of what we know and what we have to pursue something that comes within us. Yeah, so that's what it's all about. Now, to anybody has the question, and to anybody has the ability, and to anybody has the ability and the knowledge to strive for anything that comes in their way, it is never too late to pursue anything that comes in your way. For example, if you want to be a coach, if you want to be a teacher, if you want to become an artist, if you want to become anything that comes in your way, you have the power and the ability to strive for anything that comes in your way. And the only way to do that is to believe in yourself. You have the power and the ability and the potential that is in you, that is in us, to make the world a better place, unique and greater like never before in the human existence. That is the only way for us to strive for anything that comes in our way. And the only way to do that is to put God first. And the whole part about being amazing is control. It's to keep your composure. It's to keep your composure. It's to keep control and distance that comes in your way. That is the only way for God to reveal to you and to speak to you whether the ability to strive for something that comes in your way. That is the only way for God to speak to you. Alright? Be blessed. Don't be stressed. If not, be good at it. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, leave a comment, ask questions, watch this video until the end, turn on the bell notification on so that each time whenever I upload new videos regularly, you guys will get notified only when I upload new videos on my YouTube channel. And also guys, before I finish this video today, I need you guys to have faith and have the ability to have the knowledge to do anything that comes in your way. Anything that you want to do, you have the ability to do anything that comes in your way. That has got nothing to do with your race. That has got nothing to do with your upbringing. That has got nothing to do with anything that comes in your way. If you want to become a musician, if you want to become a boxer, if you want to become a musician, a rapper, or a producer, you can do anything that you strive to become, anything that comes in your way. You have the power and the ability to pursue something unique and greater like never before in the human existence. Keep God first. Have faith. Be strong and believe in your own ability. Because having your own ability, you have the ability to pursue anything that comes within yourself. Believe in yourself. Invest in yourself. Because if you want people to invest in you, you gotta invest in yourself. Because investing in yourself, it is the only way for God to speak to you and to speak to people that comes to you. That is the only way for God to speak to you. Jesus is the way. Be strong, look after yourself, ask questions, stay courageous. Because God can speak to you in a dream that nobody knows about. You have the dream. You have the passion. You have the ability to strive for anything that comes in your way. Nobody can do it except you can do it. You can do what makes you you. You have the ability. Pursue, produce, be the light, plant a seed. Planting a seed, it is the only way for the talent to pursue anything that you want to pursue. If you want to pursue of being in a relationship, to be in a relationship, you gotta start with yourself. Love yourself before you love others. Because love is the only way. Yeah. So God bless you all. Be blessed. Stay unique. Stay different. Because stay in your lane. Because God can speak to you and God can speak to people that comes from you. Alright? Be blessed. Don't be stressed. If not, be good at it. God loves you. Jesus loves you. And so do I. God bless you all.